some.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Red Raptor Writes. Wow, a lot has happened this November. 2 Toy Story 4 teaser trailers got dropped, and neither one of them were good. We got another trailer, but this time for Detective Pikachu. And sadly, the legendary Stan Lee passed away at the age of 95. Now, all these would be great subjects for their own video, but let's be honest, the competition is already ogre. A Shrek reboot got announced. Everybody's favorite green meme will be brought back to life by the geniuses behind Illumination Entertainment. We're so screwed. These filmmakers better check themselves before they Shrek themselves. At least they're bringing the original cast back, or at least that's the plan. A 5th entry into the series has been discussed since the first sequel in 2003, but never quite got off the ground. The idea has just been stuck in the swamps of pre-production, and probably for good reason. Shreks 3 and 4 sucked! Because I know this will suck too, like seriously, how much faith do you have in Illumination? I'll cleanly lay out the foundations for where the Shrek reboot should go. If anyone who works at Universal, Illumination, or DreamWorks sees this video, use this idea, okay? Okay. So, let's take this franchise that's been dead for 8 years and dig it up.
Floating around in ecstasy, so don't stop me now.
The most important step in crafting a new Shrek film is realizing that everybody's favorite ogre isn't who he used to be. Literally just type Shrek into the YouTube search bar and you'll get some really strange search results. In 2001, he was just your typical swamp monster who ate eyeballs and scared the locals in his spare time. He grew tired of the old scary ogre stereotype and wanted to make something more of his life. And he did. Now in 2018, the once lovable man inside an ogre's body is now a meme god. Everything about him, from onions to swamps, from the Scottish accent to All-Star, is just used as a running gag on the internet.
What are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
Who he was to the older generation is far different than who he is to this new post-Shrek, social media, meme-loving age. And that's what the 5th Shrek should be about. Not that he'd be a meme lord in his own world, but the new generation that was too young to remember his golden age think of him as something he's not. This should be the main conflict. Shrek thinks of himself as just a normal ogre who, yes, has been on some epic adventures, but is just a simple man at heart. But there's a growing Shrek fanbase who views him as a living legend. Like, this is the Shrek. Shrek. The one who heroically rescued Fiona from the terrifying dragon. The one who vanquished the evil Lord Farquaad, who defeated the sinister plans of the fairy godmother and Prince Charming. Man, Shrek is love. Shrek is life. So maybe there can be this Shrek fan club who annoys Shrek with dumb questions and remarks about how cool he is and asks him to sign their Shrek merch. Yes indeed, Shrek merch. They want to worship him, but he just wants to spend time with his family and friends. Donkey, being his typical donkey self, likes the idea and plays around with it in his head, coming up with names like Shrek the Great, Shrek, King of the Swamps, dumb stuff of course, until Shrek shuts him up. But the thought still sticks with him. Then things start to get serious. The villain appears. Now, I wouldn't be too picky as to who the villain is. This is a fairy tale parody after all. It could be a perverted Santa for all I care. But how about Lord Farquaad's long-lost brother or relative of some sort? Let's just call him Lord Dilquad, just to keep with the theme. So this Lord Dilquad finally arrives to reclaim the Duloc throne and avenge his older brother. And he can be sort of similar to the kids because he views Shrek as something he's not too. He thinks of Shrek as this evil mastermind who overthrew his brother, when of course Shrek is just a normal dude. But unlike Lord Farquaad, Lord Dilquad is far more intimidating. Maybe the main characters will hear of Farquaad's brother and expect another midget just to turn around and see he's this super tall, shredded killer. It'll be a nice little gag. Anyways, he begins imprisoning the fairy tale creatures again, but this time as punishment for killing Farquaad. So when the big mean villain comes, who do the people want to stop him? Of course,
The terrifying, the deadly, the amazing.
Shrek.
Dilquad overhears all the fans boasting about Shrek, causing him to challenge our lovable ogre to a duel. With no other option, our favorite meme lord steps into the ring with this Ivan Drago-like monster. The old ogre, pitted against Dilquad, gets totally Shrek'd. Shrek gets Shrek'd. After getting the Shrekking of a lifetime, Shrek finds himself locked up in a dungeon with the rest of the fairy tale creatures, and some random criminals who constantly berate them. This scene will mark the lowest point in Shrek's journey, and also be the heartfelt moment that cuts deep.
You cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep just now.
So Shrek is sitting in his cell, broken and depressed. Everything seems to have gone horribly wrong, until he hears his friend Donkey in the cell next to him, on the other side of the wall. Shrek tells him, okay, I'm not even gonna try the Shrek accent, I'm not gonna make a fool of myself. I failed them, Donkey. My family, my friends, and all those kids who looked up to me. I told you, I'm no hero. I couldn't fight Dilquad. I'm just an ugly, dumb ogre. Donkey takes a moment and replies, You are a dumb, ugly ogre, Shrek. And you're a sick pale green, you're old, overweight, and gosh, the smell. Your point, Donkey? Those kids in that fan club, they were right about you. Donkey, look at them. These are people of all ages from all over the place who come together to talk about, joke about, and celebrate you even after all these years. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yes, I can see that, but they're celebrating a lie. Do you remember way back when? Who distracted the big bad dragon as you saved Fiona? I did, me, and you better not forget it. And do you remember who really defeated Lord Farquaad? Dragon did. And who broke you into the palace to stop Prince Charming from stealing your woman? Well, everyone helped, I guess. You're just an ogre, I know, but that's the point. You're not the strongest, smartest, fastest, and certainly not the best looking dude out there, but man, you are amazing at bringing people together. You're a natural leader, Shrek, capable of getting people to do the impossible. The fact that you're just you makes it all the more inspiring. After this conversation, they both go to sleep. But Donkey gets woken up early in the morning by Shrek, who has come up with a plan to escape. Using the unique talents of all the fairy tale creatures, they break out together. I'm just imagining Pinocchio telling a bunch of funny lies to grow his nose out so he can reach the cell keys on the other side of the room. Silly stuff like that. As they fight off some guards, Shrek begins to get that rush. Not of being a homicidal maniac, but that maybe he really can live up to all the hype. Anyways, they escape, save all their friends, and head out to face Lord Dilquad. It's here that we can really see Shrek take a stand, become the hero that Duloc needs, but not the one that it deserves. He'll give a motivational speech that will be remembered for the ages as he rallies up his small army of misfits to band together just one more time to save their world and defeat Dilquad. So now we're at the climax. No, not that kind. All the characters arrive at the fortified castle and fight a bunch of soldiers. Lord Dilquad joins the fight, but Shrek tries to keep away and focus on the henchmen. That is, until Puss in Boots gets overwhelmed by our antagonist, so Shrek has to step in and save him. After a long struggle, he embraces the legend of Shrek and heroically brings down the villain, solidifying the lesson that characters and their interpretations change over time. They can be more than who they were initially written to be.
No, you can't. You're not. I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be.
The public's perception of Shrek is far different than it was 17 years ago. Anyone who suffered through Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life, or seen all those cringy YouTube videos knows this. But that's okay. Characters always evolve over time as the context around them evolves, and new writers and illustrators come to pick up the mantle. Any future Shrek movie that attempts to take its subject matter straight up without recognizing what Shrek represents now would be a total failure and wasted opportunity. Instead of turning this into the MLG, memes, Mountain Dew, and Doritos Shrek movie, I've laid out a plot that uses Shrek as a vehicle to further this idea of change, because he is the perfect example to use. Bad writers at Illumination, remember, meta commentary, it makes everything better. Oh, and remember to hit me up if you want a good screenplay. And also remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this weird Shrek fanfiction and that forced segue. And smash that notification bell like a Shrek cultist. See ya in the next video.
Body won't